Do, 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 do.
Good morning, everyone. It's an amazing Tuesday morning here in Charlotte, North Carolina. The sky is blue. The squirrels are running around my yard. It's just nothing could be better unless I had about $50 million in the bank. How are you this morning, Todd?
I'm just great.
Good, 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 good. And who all is out in the chat? I know Mr. Bumcrack's out there. How you doing, Mr. Bumcrack? Hope you're doing good this morning, sir.
Mhm.
Um, Hang on a second. Let's mute this. Man, nobody's in here this morning.
Nobody.
Nobody loves me. Um,
Just bum cracking us.
yep, the cool people.
The cool people.
See, 3 more days till departure to Nashville to meet all the power sellers. Good morning, Anissa.
Power sellers.
Good morning, Chastity. I'm looking forward to meeting Chastity. Um,
I bet she's a lovely lady.
she probably is just an amazingly sweet Southern lady. Good morning, Craig. Um, so how was your sales yesterday?
I kind of average. It was not bad, not good. Just yeah. I
Good
think
morning, Pink. Well, that's good.
when I got
Um,
like above 1,200 listings, things kind of leveled out the way I do things.
well, I have pretty much got everything done around here, so I'm turning my store back on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work on some listings.
I sold
Because I haven't done anything.
8 items yesterday for $180. So nothing big.
Well, that's $180 you'll get to spend this weekend.
No, that's gross.
Uh,
The net profit will be maybe 50%. How's I suppose it depends on what tax bracket you're in, but
yeah.
when you buy items the way I do, and you sell items the way I do, and then you take out taxes, shipping, eBay fees, supplies. What's the net? I mean, what do you get to spend after you pay Uncle Sam?
I do about 50%. And that's allowing more for costs than, really is applicable. But it seems to work okay using that figure.
50%. Of course, it all depends,
Good morning, Major Win. And Lag.
on your cost of goods.
Yeah. Good morning, Jabus. Good morning, Chicken Toad. Yeah, that's the biggest thing right there, is the cost of goods. Craig, did I say good morning to you?
So, Chastity sold 2 things that's been in her store for 6 years.
Wow. Okay,
But
I
I
got a
mean,
couple of questions
the
for.
stuff I purged is kind of like, yeah, that stuff shouldn't have been listed anyway. And then but you never know. So some things that I try to sell, I don't know if they're going to be valuable until I try.
Well, that's just it. You know, one person's trash is another person's treasure. Okay, I have a question for you jewelry folks. If you had to write a description for this, it's just costume. Sort of kind of got an Egyptian thing going there. How would you describe that?
Straight from Pharaoh's tomb. Inspired by Pharaoh's tomb, this necklace.
Jewelry folks, yeah, jewelry folks. Jewelry folks. Did I say jewelry? Jewelry.
Yeah, it's a really pretty thing, but I don't think I know any women around here who would wear that.
Um,
Nothing
it's
wrong with
heavy too. It's real heavy. Anyway,
When did
any
you get jewelry to sell?
do you really like that, Anissa? Would you wear it if you had it? Yeah, I'm not paying it. I don't. Nobody pays Craig any attention. You just scan what he says, and if it seems like it's important, then you go with it.
Yeah, it looks like a piece you would wear to a swanky party, you know.
I don't know about a swanky party, but I would think like just a casual. I'm not going to wear jeans type thing. Um, Good morning, Laura.
A bougie party.
A bougie party. That's right.
When
Don't
did
you love
that
a
get
good
to be
bougie
a term?
party?
I've heard that in the reselling community for 3 or 4 years now. That's bougie.
Good morning, Hank. Anyway,
Oh,
like I said, I
the bourgeoisie.
I don't I don't know. I guess I'll try the Google Lens thing and see if it comes up with anything similar to it and see what their description is.
I would think it would take a confident person to wear that.
You know,
I don't see a shy person putting that on.
um,
Yeah, put it on, Tom, and show us.
no, it won't fit around my neck. It's too fat. Now, this is not to sound racist or anything like that, but my son's girlfriend is an African American, very pretty girl, and she likes stuff like this.
Okay.
So it might end up in her collection. I don't know. Or I'll start building the Hux jewelry collection for the girls to fight over. And the other thing is, this is also a necklace, but it looks like little ball bearings hooked together. That's probably some kind of beads, but that's what it looked like to me. Is that another one I need to? And I've seen a lot of girls that would wear this that are into the kind of the grunge. What is it? Where they have even the guys have the dark eyeshadow and the dark hair. And
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing in this. So where'd you get this stuff?
I bought it in a lot
From?
from Julie.
Oh,
And I'm gonna say, Julie, if you happen to be listening, which I don't think you're up yet, I did find 2 pieces of sterling silver. There were earrings and they were just singles, and a sterling silver ring that looked like it's probably for a little girl because the ring's so small, or you got tiny fingers. But alas, that's all gone into the vault. So um, it was all 925. So when she says she doesn't look through this stuff, apparently not. Anti-pull dog chain. No, it does. It's fixed lag at the top. You know. So anyway, I'll see what I'll just try several things. Good morning, Pedlin, and good morning, Doug. If I didn't say, I saw you pop through just a minute ago, and
Perky's here.
yep, he's here somewhere. I didn't find any. I didn't find any marks on it so far, Anissa, and I haven't really looked at it because it came in yesterday, and I just kind of like just quickly sorted through stuff. Because I figured, and I looked through all the single stuff, the earrings and things like that was by itself, because I figured that if something was going to slip through, then it would be something like that, because people would say I only got one of these, and whether it's sterling or not, probably it's not a big deal. And it's not a big deal to me because, like I said, I threw it in a cup and stuck it in the safe with the rest of the odds and then silver. Because I'm gonna have a grandson to have to send to college.
Wow. I just got an eBay ad to Josh Galt's store. I follow his store.
Right.
And eBay sent me an advertisement.
Javis, no, it wasn't. It was, like I said, it was one of Julie's lots, and I'm happy with what I got. Because if nothing, because I don't know anything about jewelry, and so either Medeja or my sister-in-law will wear that, and probably one of my great nieces will wear this because they're young and hip. So that's that. I've seen a lot of eBay ads lately. And I've seen a lot of Walmart.com, selling on Walmart.com ads lately. So I guess they're trying to vulturize it's MA, that little mark above the A, and DASIA. And this, if the money was there, I believe she would be. So, she's really nice, sweet girl. Oh, so you've seen radio spots, Jabus, for the eBay? So anyhow, like I said, I might buy a couple of more boxes from her and send them up to my father-in-law and let him sort through them, because he's all about that. He's always saying, "You got any more coins for me to look through?" Because Todd, we sent him a gallon jug of change, and he went through there, and he sorted all the pennies, and then he sorted all of them by years, and put them in Ziploc bags with the year on them. Then he went through all the other coins. Any silver coins, he just put them aside. But everything is broken down. So Roberta asked him if I sent some jewelry up there, if he would be interested in looking through it, and we'd get him a good loop to use. But oh God. So anyhow, that's that. Now, the title of this show is "What Did You Learn?" Since I'm assuming everybody except Todd has sent their taxes in. Um, After you looked at your taxes and you know got your results, did you think about, well, maybe I need to start keeping track of this, or maybe I need to start making some donations, that type of thing, to just to work on your taxes, to put a little effort in it? Because honestly, if we were just filing off of our income, or like my Social Security and Roberta's check, no investments, the interest that comes off of our accounts, that type of thing, but no other investments, we could file the short form. I mean, and pay a lot. So, we were looking at stuff, and I think I might have mentioned it already. My niece is the director of a Salvation Army men's shelter, homeless shelter. Because of the flooding, they had to expand and take in families too. But they can always use donations. And so I told Roberta, I said, maybe we need to start sending her sending the agency a couple of $100 a month, so we'll have some taxes to write off. And she's sending Roberta because if you need to, donations need to be made directly to them, to their account. Otherwise, if you donate it to Salvation Army, it could end up anywhere. So if anybody needs any deductions or inclined to do that, I'll pass that information on to you too. Because she is really tight about what goes on the money being spent in her facility. And she's real aggressive about finding people. They were having problems with the finding cooks. I said, y'all got like 3 culinary schools up there. Why don't you send the administrators of them saying, do you have any chefs in training that would like to to do some work for free a couple of times a month? And that's actually, she's got some people that comes in and does that. So anyway, has anybody learned, or is anybody thinking about next year's taxes? Because that's like the last thing they do on any of these tax programs. It's like, let's talk about next year's taxes. We got hit more than I thought we would because Roberta has some slot machine wins off of the cruises we've been on, which is okay. I mean, it's fun. Yeah, you can cook. I bet you can. Good morning, Jake. The link to the show should be pinned to the top of the chat if anybody wants to join us. But Chick, do you have many cows?
I think she's just making suggestions for lowering your tax liability.
My niece and my sister-in-law and my niece, they have, well, my brother and his wife, my Angie, and Savannah, my niece, and her husband, they have land beside each other, and they've got a frickin' zoo down there. Starbuckster, dude. Yeah, we got hit with a small. It was like $15 penalty. So our CPA is going to make changes. He's looking into some things too. And I don't want to sound horty-torty, but if you pay taxes, you made money, and of that money, you should be in good shape. If you're spending it all away, like Todd's got that damn Ferrari now, and you're not setting any back, then that's on you. I mean, what can I say? You got to spend money to make money. That's what this game is about, isn't it? Am I too loud, by the way? That's, like Todd and I were just talking about going to Nashville. He said he had like $180 worth of sales. And I said, well, you can spend that this week, because that's Friday. Yeah, we did not request, Jabus, because it's the first time we've even had to get into it. Normally it's been little small wins so you don't get the statements. But you have to request how much you've spent while you were on the ship. So like the last day they email you a sheet. So it's based on probably how much you didn't how much you've made too, Anissa. Yeah, those 2 more years. 2 more years. Those little. Well, they got to go to college too. You can still claim them while they're in college. They'll be dropping off. Yeah, Sally used to collect them at her store because, like in some states, you get points and you enter the points number or the number off the card into their website, and it gives you points, and you can use those points to enter other lotteries and stuff like that.
Bye.
Bye, Gwen.
She going for a walk?
She taking the dog?
No.
She wants to take a nice leisurely walk without having to say, "Come on, leave that squirrel alone. Leave that possum alone."
Yeah.
Yeah, Chastity says she's going. Jabez says bye, Gwen, too.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, but
yeah, that'd be a good
how
thing,
far are you
Craig.
away from Nashville? You and the hubby jump in it and have a nice romantic weekend with all your together, and then see all of us too. Which I'm assuming this is his time of the year to really his business starts picking up. Chastity, you got a friend coming with you, right? Correct? Let's see, what did Craig say? Don't we just go to the sales tax only? Yeah, if people had to. Well, isn't Jake? Aren't you in PA? I can never remember where the hell he's at. Oh, I did he? I'm looking forward to it. Get to meet Todd face to face and Scott face to face, which I feel like I know. I've known them. I feel like I've known Todd all my life. Because it's been what?
Yeah, you're one of the lucky ones.
It's been. We've been hanging out together for what, about 9 years?
Yeah, we used to watch Salary and Valerie.
Yeah, Salary and Valerie. Yep.
Sally and Valerie do their show, and then we kind of took it over when they wanted out.
I
and
can't
then,
remember, Danessa. Yeah, when they got into other things. Good morning, Julie. I was just talking about you. Yeah, I do too. Nikki, every once in a while, will pop in. Valerie has popped in a couple of times, and Sally's popped in a couple of times.
It's been at least a year since any of them
Yeah,
popped
it
in.
has been.
Jim and Tara, they show up about
Yeah,
twice a month.
yeah, they're busy making money. Yes, I did. Yes, it was Julie. It came yesterday, or the box came yesterday.
Tara.
Yeah, Tar. I want Beard. Where is Beard at? What the hell is he doing?
Fred. He's probably listening, going, those old guys sound stupid.
Yeah, he's sleeping in.
You watch, first thing he come in here, he says, "Morning, assholes."
That's right. Oh God, busy spending money. What the hell did you buy now, Tar? Did you go out and buy you another $550?
But yeah, taxes. I didn't learn anything new this year except there's some things I should change, like paying quarterly, which I have avoided doing. There's no sense not to, but I don't know. Just remembering to do it once every 3 months is probably the reason I haven't done it. And I get hit with a penalty because I don't pay enough.
Right.
You know, my teacher retirement, they draw out income tax based on if my retirement check was my only income. So it's not enough because my side hustle and Gwen's check brings in more. Morning, Tara.
Good morning, Tara.
I'll come harass you, but then you start talking about taxes, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Now, see, in North Carolina,
I
we
didn't
don't
know this
pay.
was one of those serious things.
We don't pay income taxes on Social Security, but we have to pay feds. So Mr. Trump needs to get off his ass and get that.
Well, aren't you allowed? I don't know this because I'm not as old as y'all, but don't you get to make so much on Social Security, and then if you make above that, you know, like if you still work or whatever, then you have to pay tax above that or something.
After you become 67 and a half, you don't. It doesn't apply.
No.
Because some people have had to pay back. I was listening to one guy, one talk
Qualify for
show,
that.
and they had to pay back. They got docked on their Social Security because they made more than which is like 18.5, I think it is.
Oh, really?
Um,
So they got a smaller check per month because they're making more? Yeah.
it recalibrates your payout for the next year. Sometimes
Yeah.
if you make
I
so
don't know
much,
how that.
you have to pay refund some money.
There probably won't be any Social Security around when I'm old enough.
Um, so you know if you're 70 years old and you make $1 million in a year, it doesn't affect your Social Security. So um,
Sadie paid
Mr.
almost
Sadie's
30 now.
rolling in the big money if he's paying 30K in taxes.
son of a bitch, Mister Sadie, what in the world is going on with that? Are you just bad mouthing all the time, mully grubbing like Todd, and you're sitting on damn Fort Knox in your backyard or something?
No.
I mean, really, that's a lot of jack to be paying taxes on. I mean, to have to pay in taxes. Damn. Maybe you need to
Well,
let your wife retire.
it almost didn't.
Poker
You remember all the work that he was doing for his former boss and company?
Yeah.
He probably didn't get paid enough, even though he probably made quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he drew out some of his retirement. Yeah, they do hit you hard if you draw that out of like your retirement account. I have
Good
a
morning,
friend who
Laura.
drew some out to buy a trailer, and they really hit her hard too.
Wow. You know, when Roberta, my original 401k, it does not exist anymore. The reason being is when Roberta had her liver transplant, I liquidated my 401k, which I could because I had proof of medical necessity. And because after the insurance finished paying, we still paid like $360,000. And
Yeah, those deductibles are a bitch.
so you know, you don't get penalized, but you do get penalized, but you can spread it out over numerous years because of it was, you know, in this case, it was a life or death situation.
Yeah, peddling profits. Everybody's situation is different, so get out your pencil and sharpen it and a piece of paper and just go through the numbers and see what works
Well, I'll tell
best
you
for
that
you.
I will. I don't like to say my uncle, when he's passed away, he figured it out. You get a smaller check and collect it early, but the thing of it is, in order to make up those smaller checks you didn't take in the beginning, you got to live to be 93. So if you think you can live that long to make up that stuff you didn't collect in the beginning, then it works out.
It's
Well, it's a pencil. That's a pencil. It's a writing instrument.
yeah, Larry's
Nobody uses
OnlyFans
pencils
page
anymore,
took
God.
off.
I don't use a pencil very much.
So y'all ready for Nashville? Y'all
Uh,
ready to go to Nashville now? Y'all packed?
We were talking about that a while ago. I think so.
no, I'll pack on
Oh,
Thursday.
you already covered that. I'm on here. Don't say anything super secret to me.
Hey, Jim.
Oh yeah.
Drop this high priced jewelry on the floor.
Don't say anything super secret. So, how much
Oh, I have to
jewelry
help
did you
you.
buy from Julie?
3 pounds.
3 pounds.
And that of it.
Where's she selling it on Whatnot?
No, on eBay. It's just a lot. And jewelry. Julie, were you listening earlier when I said that I found some earrings that were sterling silver and a little girl's ring that was sterling? But the earrings were just a single, so I'm sure that's the reason why it slipped through is because people weren't. Um, because it's just a single earring. Yeah, so I'm okay with it. And I got some pieces I am going to list if I don't give them to my potentially future daughter-in-law. And there's a couple of
Ooh.
pieces. There's this one necklace that is heavy. It's got big, I'm gonna call them stones. They're faux stones of some sort, and they look like caramel. Anyway, my sister-in-law loves big jewelry because she's a big girl and she loves big jewelry. So I might give
Where'd you find
give
that?
that to her. I'm getting ready to start listing again, Lag. I'm actually going to turn my store on back on since we're kind of done with everything.
I
And
wonder if it's a tooth.
I wonder.
Where'd you find this?
Out in the dirt in the dirt.
yeah, I'm getting ready to start
what's up?
getting back into the game.
Oh, that's cool.
This was all Steve. This was all
God
Richard.
almighty.
Oh. Cause see it here how it has like those lines, like the root, like it grew.
Allegedly, yeah. You're still in my line, Jabus. Allegedly.
Well, that's pretty cool, Jim. Good job.
You know what?
Italian
Like I said, pieces
Make a
I
necklace.
you know, I'll give to future
It's
daughter-in-law.
probably off of one of those monster stores
Sister-in-law.
or whatever.
There's a bunch of little stuff that I'll give to my nieces that I don't think's worth listing.
That would be messing up.
So I'm okay with it.
Maybe
I would
it's
like to
like
find
a
a
raptor
4-carat
tooth.
diamond in there or something like that, Julie, but I'm sure you wouldn't let that slip through.
I don't know, the way she was on the show the other day and just slamming stuff.
Yeah.
She said, I ain't gonna untangle this. Boom. You know.
Yeah, Jake. I'm pretty much ready. Jury jars. Yeah, that's right, Lanchart. Jury jars. No,
What time you get into Nashville on Friday?
about 11 o'clock.
At night or in the morning?
In the morning. Because the flight takes off here like at 10:30 and gets to Nashville at 10:55, but you got that hour time difference. And it's the only
I
flight.
thought they're
It was the only
Eastern.
flight available. What's
I
that
thought
going on?
I thought Nashville was Eastern time. They're not.
I don't think so.
Because I went out to White Pine, Tennessee. I think they were Eastern time.
Well, maybe I don't know. I know it
You
takes
should check out.
longer than 20 minutes to get to Nashville.
Well, you're a grumpy old man today.
I don't
Hey,
know. Good
Tom.
morning, Julie. How are you?
I'm good. I want to show y'all what I'm working through today. Y'all were talking about my piles. Hold on, I gotta look right here. I can only do it with my.
Okay.
Natural is central.
Oh, really? I didn't know
And
that.
Central that's Scott and Todd.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Look at that pile of crap.
Wow.
I just kidding, Julie.
Yeah, that's what I'll be pulling
Cool.
from today. All of that.
Where do you get it all from? Estate auctions and stuff?
I have been doing this for a good little while, and I've got, gosh, now probably 8 or 10 really good resources
Oh, cool.
that I buy for them regularly. Yesterday, this right here was a load of about 400 pounds that came yesterday.
400 pounds of jewelry.
400. It was 15 large flat rate boxes, and they average about 30 pounds a piece, 25 to 30 pounds a piece. And that was from one supplier.
If Lag does her show on Friday, I'll show up for it. That would be interesting.
I'm gonna go back out because I got to print orders, but I'll be
Alrighty.
listening. I'll have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye, Julie. God, what a pile of stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, I got piles of stuff to work through.
Yeah, but she does hers different. She just takes a box and starts filling it up until she gets to the pound limit she wants.
Yeah, her system is a lot better than mine.
So, 400 pounds. Holy crap. I had some stuff that took, like
Morning,
this thing
Doug.
here, this chain necklace thing. It took me forever to get that thing untangled.
Oh my God, it's like, I don't know, like when I was a kid, the Christmas lights would get all tangled up, and then you'd give it to your grandma to untangle it because she'd do anything anyway, and she'd get all pissed. That's how I picture you, some old person.
No, you know what I do? It's
Trying to
Christmas lights. I
untangle
go
that
buy
crap.
new ones.
Well, this was back in the early '80s. Nobody did. We had to untangle those Christmas lights, and my grandma would be swearing like, "You better put these up right. I'm not untangling them again."
Back when I was well, it would have been in Charleston, so I was less than 13 years old. My dad, they had the big bulbs, the outdoor
Yeah, we
bulbs,
had those outside. Yeah.
those big ones. My dad he would start like the weekend after Thanksgiving, start untangling those damn things.
And testing them, because you have one bulb burnt out, and then you have to figure out which one's burnt out so that the whole string will work.
Yeah.
It was like a Christmas tradition for us. My grandma would be mad. She'd be yelling and swearing.
I just don't have the patience for it anymore, Julie.
String.
Yeah,
So
that's
how's
what
y'all
he
stuff
said, but
been?
it was the '80s.
My mom was so cheap. Yeah, she'd have my dad with a pair of scissors cutting that thing up and taping it and trying to find that, rewiring it so the string would work.
No, my mom, and I think my mom liked to do it to my grandma to torture her, but
And
yeah.
I was in high school, and these lights were bought before I was born. It was like when they first got married, they got these
His
lights.
mom was so cheap. She'd make him save the Christmas wrapping paper and fold it up and reuse it year after year.
She'd make me fold up my lunch bags and put them in my back pocket like a wallet. So when I came home, I had to hand over a lunch bag so she could use it the next day. She was cheap. But we went to Disney World every year.
There you go.
How's y'all sales been, Tara? Y'all still
It
keeping
was
the power
good,
on?
and yesterday I kind of shit the bed. So, but other than that, it's been good. Just yesterday was bad for whatever reason. Maybe I got put on the wrong server or something.
Right. Jim hasn't had to put
Yeah,
on his
lighthouse.
gold jacket and go out and hustle real estate yet.
You will never go back to real estate.
Screw that. Here's the kitchen if you're too stupid to know where the kitchen is.
This guy sold a house 2 houses down from us. The realtor. I was talking to the realtor, and he's leaving the real estate industry.
Really? Because real estate seems like it's pretty good right now.
No inventory though.
It is.
Oh, no
Nothing sells,
inventory,
really.
yeah.
Oh, they
There
got
ain't any
because he was saying because we had this pod out front because we took everything outside where we're having the carpet put down, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Are y'all moving and selling, and are you renting and blah blah blah?" And I said, "No." I said, "We're just doing some upgrades." He said, "A lot of people are doing that," but he just sold a house up the street that the people paid $36,000 for in 1973, and he sold it for $441,000.
Well, that's a pretty
Don't
good
you think the
comparable
proper-
for your
the-
house, then.
So, but he said that he's just he's an older guy, mine and Todd and Jim's age, and he said, "I just can't take it anymore." He said, and I sold $20 million worth of real estate last year. He said,
But you have to sell that much.
"Yeah."
What? Because if
Plus
you
he's got
figure
a
it out
team.
with
It used to be you have to sell $5 million to make it.
Yeah, and like if you sold like five, I mean, I'm not doing the math right now, but at the time, if you sold 5 million, that was like $30,000 a year.
Oh no, it was
Roughly.
like 45.
Okay, roughly.
But that's what you have. I mean, if you got bills, I mean,
Yeah.
how do you make it? You know, you ain't gonna. If you're $1 million club, that could be a $20,000 annual income. Well, what are you doing on 20
Yeah.
grand?
Yeah.
Not a
Back
lot.
in the day, being in the Millionaire Club was big time. You were making some good money.
Yeah,
Now it's
no,
not
but if you
shit.
figured out, you know,
Already in the 80s, that wasn't really making
when you as the seller of real estate, when you pay that 6% commission, but by the time it gets down to your agent, unless they have both sides, they're only getting 1.5%.
Yeah.
You need if you're going to be in real estate, you either got to do your own office, marry the broker's child, or buy land, have the moxie to buy land, and do subdivisions, land investment.
Right.
But if you're doing strictly selling on consignment, I mean, there's people who do it, but I mean, it's tough. I mean, that's a very small club. The people who make it on just selling real estate on consignment and making big bucks. You have to really be investing in it to do really. I mean, any of those people who do really well, you'll see, they have the great house and a great car and stuff like that. They're doing subdivisions, or they're flipping houses. They're doing stuff on the side there to supplement that consignment income.
But he said people are such liars now on both sides of the table. He said he got to a closing, and this happened to us. We had a closing schedule for this house, and the day we were supposed to close it, our attorney called and said, "I just got an update from the title insurance company, and there's a lien on that house." So they had to take care of the lien before we could close the house. Up until that point, there had been no conversation about a lien on this house.
No, they said it was a title policy, but why would but you usually get that before closing.
Yeah, it doesn't come closing day.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe they were informed of the lien and didn't take care of it. Is probably
I'm
what
not
happened.
sure what the deal was, so it was postponed.
It must have got missed by the other agent, and then it didn't get taken care of by closing. But yeah, you should have that. Usually a month before the closing, you'll have that.
Because if there was a lien on the property, then wouldn't that get taken care of by the proceeds of the sale? Let's say you have like a credit card put a $10,000 lien on your house. You can still close because that proceeds is going to get taken care of by the proceeds of the sale.
Yeah, you just got to draft an agreement that you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Do it.
But this guy, Bill was his name, or is his name. He's like, people say I'm pre-qualified for $400,000.
Well, pre-qualified is different
wait
than
a minute.
the hard.
And then when they get down to the brass tacks of it, they don't even qualify for a 1973 12 by 60, $3,000 house, mobile home.
You know what?
Yeah, the pre-qualify is when when the lender takes you at your word. So I mean, once the hard credit pull is when they're verifying the information. But there's an old saying in real estate: buyers are liars and sellers don't tell the truth. And that's a really old saying, way older than me.
So it's he says, I'm just tired of it, and he's gotten sued a couple of times because of one side or the other not being honest about it, and he got caught in the middle, and he's like, I've got plenty of money in the bank. I'm just going to call it quits.
Leave it to sued's like an audit.
Leave it to the young
if
ones.
If you get sued,
they can get into real estate and make $1 billion.
Well, you are your own boss and make your own hours, so you don't have to work as hard.
Real estate? Yeah, I sold a house to these people. They call me up Easter Sunday. Well, the water heater's not working. I'm like, what the hell's that got to do with me? So I'm like, oh my god! So I had to go dig in my garage, find my water heater element pulling tool, and luckily I had a spare water heater element. Went to their house Easter Sunday. I had to go fix the damn water heater. So yeah, you may make your own hours, but you could be working Easter Sunday.
I had a really good relationship with a realtor, and I sent him a lot of leads and stuff like that made them some money. And of course, the company that I work for made some money because we did the surveying on it. But there was this big house. It was a big house in York County, and it was for sale. It was like 16,000 square feet. Well, since then it has burnt to the ground. And my mom had mentioned she said I'd like to go see that. I wish I could go see that. So I called up Joanne and said, "Look, I know you talk about riding people around, and Jim probably did the same thing too, riding,
Oh yeah.
looky loos." I said, "But
Oh yeah, when nobody could get a loan and gas was $4 a gallon, that was really great.
yeah, I said, you know, I'm gonna call in a you owe me," and I said, "Can you take a little bit of time and take my mom and I'll go with her with y'all over to look at this house. She wants to just go through it. She's not interested in buying." And he said, Miss Brittany, she said, "Miss Brittany wants to see it. Sure." So we met over there and we walked her through the house. And I'm gonna tell you what, if my mom wasn't so damn cheap, she would have probably bought that house because she could afford to pay cash for it. But man, it was pretty. But like I said, the point of that story was the looky loos, the people that just want to go look at houses and they don't qualify or they don't have the money for the down payments and stuff like that.
Not to change the subject, do you want to hear something real scary today?
Sure.
Brandon drove himself to school.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Da, da, da.
We told him when he got there, call us. I mean, I've never waited for a call. It's like it would be like your kid's going in for brain surgery or something. Like, please make it.
This is his first time driving without another person in the car with him.
Well, congratulations. But you know what? It
Yeah,
never
that little
stops.
boy's getting big.
My
That
son,
little annoying boy from our video is getting bigger.
yeah, my son is married and expecting
Tom,
a
did you just
baby.
sell car insurance?
He
Go ahead.
They were going to Florida, and I said, "When you get down there, text me. Let me know you got down there okay." And he's like, "Dad, I'm 27 years old." I said, "The point
I
is,
don't care.
I'm your father," and I said to text me like I'm talking to a 16-year-old. I said, because I'm the one that's going to be getting my old, tired, fat ass into my car and headed to come get y'all if there's a problem someplace. Because there is a lot of out in the middle of nowhere roads between here and
Oh, northern
Jacksonville.
Florida, there's a lot of middle of the nowhere roads in northern Florida.
You go through Georgia, man, it's nothing. Yeah, that 360 or whatever, John, he doesn't like that too much anymore. When they were kids, they all had it on their phones and they couldn't turn it off. Roberta and I had to turn it off. But Roberta said she's going to
Oh,
put
is
it
that
on
that thing
my
that
phone.
tells you
I
where their
said,
phone is?
I am not a child
Is that thing where you put you then you know where they're at?
all the time. If
Oh
they've
yeah,
got
see, I want to put that on Brandon's phone.
if they've got cell signal, you know where they're at.
Yeah, I want to put that on Brandon's phone.
Roberta said she's gonna put it on mine before I went to Nashville. I said, so why? So you can tell if I'm at a honky tonk or something like that? They were headed to
Oh, Roberta's
Jacksonville,
not going
Julie.
with you to Nashville.
No, she's not going with me to Nashville.
Well, you can go to Tanya Tucker's bar. She just opened it, I think, about a year ago.
I don't know what they got planned. I mean, I know there's sort of a schedule, but I don't know anything about where they're talking about going. Jake, are you
She's
still
making
listening?
some kind of. I don't think it's rum. Maybe it's tequila. Tanya Tucker, and they had the big taste thing up at Shelbyville at the horse show.
Tequila tasting?
Yeah, and
Oh boy.
and it's got that black.
I could hear the cougars howling
It's
from
got
here.
that black Frisian horse on it that one lady owns up there that Tanya Tucker was showing and stuff.
Cougars
Anyway,
and tequila is a bad combination.
Tanya Tucker, Cougars.
I thought, was it moonshine? What was it that Dusty they like to go to? Was it moonshine? Some bar that had moonshine or something like that?
Well, didn't they used to go? What's that? Chattanooga? Is that where they went? Where you're kind of in the hills there, or was that Chattanooga where they were all going on vacation? I don't know, somewhere down around those parts.
I don't know. I've been to Knoxville,
Blur.
and I have been through Tennessee. But other than Knoxville, I've never stopped any place in Tennessee except to get gas.
I've been to the horse show a couple times now down by White Pine, which is by like Newport, and I've been like through Nashville, but I never did anything for Nashville. Oh, but I will tell you this, and I don't know if this is true. When you're in Nashville, you should probably go check out Antique Archaeology because I heard they're shutting
They're
it
done.
down.
They're or the 24th is the last day. Yeah, they're almost done.
Oh, they're
Really?
all, so they won't get there in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that like on Facebook or something that Mike Wolf was going to do there for some kind of event for the last day, but yeah, they're shutting it down.
I haven't been to Gatlinburg since I was probably in my 20s, John Jabez.
Oh man, yeah, no, that's where Dusty was going, Gatlinburg.
Was it
You
Gatlinburg?
got it right.
Someplace
Yeah.
where they had
I
milk,
know
like
it
a
has that
moonshine bar.
chairlift. It has a mountain or something with a chairlift.
Smoky Mountain Rain. Gonna keep on falling.
Yeah, and he's got that chairlift where you can go. There was some kind of old bed and breakfast they like to stay at.
Yeah.
The guy gets his first.
Oh, is Antique Archaeology already closed?
Oh, it's already done. Okay.
Oh, I don't know, Jabez.
Yeah, I knew it was coming up. I thought maybe it was the 24th, but
You know what's weird? I said
I always said I was going to go to it. I never did go.
we can still go to it. It just won't be open.
Well, I'm not going to stand outside on the street looking
We
at it
won't
like
waste
a
money on t-shirt then.
dipshit.
Yeah. Just get a white t-shirt at Walmart and a black magic marker and write Antiques Archaeology on it.
I went to when the World's Fair was in Knoxville, or my family went, and about 10 years ago,
1984?
I started hanging with this group of people, and one of the guys was from Knoxville, and there's a potential that we met each other years ago at the World's Fair because he was a ticket taker at the Chinese exhibit, or one of the organizers. Please stand in this line. And but that was weird. I mean,
Small world.
we might have met way back yonder. Yeah, I heard it has changed a lot since then. Like I said, normally my trips to Tennessee is like going straight across Tennessee. And I went with my brother and his wife to a field trial. They had Brittany's. And it was over in Missouri. And we went from one end of Tennessee to the other end, and I'm like, will this damn state never end? And then I meet Todd, who's a resident of Texas, and it's 5 hours. It's 5 hours to any state line from where he lives at.
Well, Texas is a big state.
Well, at least you're insulated from the other states, though. You got a nice buffer zone.
I like Tennessee. It's pretty down there.
And I am sort of packed for the trip because I started packing when we started breaking everything down. So I knew I'd have clothes to wear because I still don't know where half of my stuff is at. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody that we talk to on a pretty regular basis. Of course, Todd and Chastity and Scott and Jake. And that lot. The folks off of Scott's show. So anyhow, life is tough. You just got to do what you got to do. And I'm flying. I'm not driving. Roberta said, because Roberta's the Miss Travel person. She's like, okay, what have you got organized? And I said, I've got tickets, airline tickets, hotel, it's all paid for. How are you getting to the airport? I'm going to Uber. How are you going to get from the airport in Nashville to the hotel? I'm going to Uber. How are you going to get back to the hotel? I'm going to Uber. Have you got the Uber app on your phone? Oh, I got to do that.
Uh-oh. Well, you can Uber a ride up to the great state of Kentucky.
Well, why don't y'all just come down to Nashville for the
I
day.
don't know. I'm debating on Saturday. I might go watch the Rolex. They used to call it the Rolex. I might go watch that.
You can lay in the you can
I'm not
get
spending.
Brandon to
I'm
drive
not
you.
spending. No, I'm not having Brandon drive me on the freeway. I'll be sitting on pins and needles. You don't ride with that kid. I do. I
You know,
told
when
him
I
he's not
think of
allowed to drive
Brandon,
on the
I know
freeway.
he's a young man now, taller than Jim, but
He's
all I
taller
can
than
think of was
Jim.
when he was little and y'all were doing the
Yeah.
shows in the snow in Wisconsin, and he's out there trying to getting involved in everything,
Yeah,
just
now
being a
he's
little
this. I
boy.
don't. Now he's not. He's a man who swears a lot when he's up there on his computer playing PS4 and or PS5, and so I hear him swearing up there, thinking, "Where did he learn to swear like that?" or stuff like that. And he
Some
look
of his-
and he's getting like a deeper voice, and anyway,
have you
I
asked
think it's
him if
because he
he
hangs out
started
with those
flying at
football kids.
McDonald's yet? He needs to start paying rent.
No, he honestly that horse farm that I go to, he's been working over there some on weekends and that, and he goes and does like chores.
You missed the Thor
So it keeps him
days.
fit. Huh?
Anissa says she misses the Thor days.
Thor Day. Oh yeah, yeah, that Thor God of Thunder you, YouTube account.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'd show up and just start chatting in the chat. Like if I was on a show, like let's say this show live, or sometimes at night, yeah, he'd show up with making his own comments from his bedroom. Yeah, he's not too interested in anything I do anymore now, though he grew up.
Julie, it's not a big parcel of land anymore. They sold off a bunch of pieces of it. And I
Yeah,
had
that's
to
what he does.
digest
Shovel
log
shit.
because
Stack sand.
you know what, Jabus, we've got some friends that they have daughters that have horses, and they pay an ungodly amount of money to board those damn horses over near Waxhaw.
I thought they had their own land.
No, this is some friends, and
Oh,
Chastity and Jabus, y'all, no Chastity, but Jabus, you probably are aware Waxhaw is. That's where they have the Queen's Cup at and all that kind of stuff. Really nice, really nice uh, stables. Anyway, if you were to look at his two daughters, you would think they were Princess Royals because they're always dressed to the T. But he posted some video on his Facebook page of them in wellies, jeans, with a shovel and a pitchfork, mucking out their stalls for their horses. And he says it does it. He says I don't mind paying that $3,000 a month for boarding those damn horses to see them work like that.
oh
That's
yeah, horses
that's
are
what you need to do.
expensive.
You need to build some stalls or boarding stables on your property.
No, I don't. I did that, and I'm not doing. I'm not having customers. I like my privacy now, because when you do that, when you open yourself up to the public, then you got people always crawling around or in your house or always want to talk about horses with you, and I don't see. My home is now my like sanctuary. I don't have to deal with people.
Jim can't walk out
I
on the
did that
back
for
porch.
most of my life.
Jim can't walk out on the back porch and pee off the porch without these people around.
Yeah, if I want to walk around in my backyard naked as a jaybird, I can because I when I bought that horse farm when I was 20 years old and I built that big arena on it and stuff. I mean, so I did that for a good portion of my life.
So Todd, what you got on your agenda for today?
Oh, I just need to list. Get this stuff listed and sold and make $1 million.
There you go.
Get it listed.
Yeah.
And you're right, John. Actually, a horse is worse than a boat because the bills never end.
Yeah, because a boat, when you're not riding in it, you can have it parked and it doesn't, like, you don't have to feed it.
Horses you have to feed, they have to still do the vets and all that kind of stuff.
What do you got in your
Well,
mouth?
That and horseshoe or
What's
barrier.
that?
yeah.
What is that? She
Um,
didn't show me. What do you
have
got? Ew.
Oh, Jameis.
She's
Jameis
got
wants
a
to be your
June
neighbor now,
bug.
Tara.
Ew. I hate
I
June
think
bugs. They
I
freak
think
me
she
out.
meant if she decides she wants to walk around in the backyard naked, she can.
Yeah,
I know.
that's the big thing. If I decide,
Yeah,
which I
it's
don't,
not that she
but
does because she did.
I want to have total privacy. Did you see? Hey Todd, Tom? Did you see the video of me winning Shelbyville on my Facebook?
No, I didn't see that. I'll have to
Oh
go
well,
look
see,
for it.
obviously you don't pay attention to what I'm doing. It's on
I'm
my
gonna have to go look
Facebook.
for it.
You see the tricolors hanging on my boot.
Well, cool.
Sweet.
Are you going pro?
No, why would I do something stupid like that? Well, there's a thing about saddlebreds. If you become a horse trainer or professional, you can't show pleasure horses anymore. Whereas an amateur, I can show pleasure horses. It's much more beneficial for me to be able to show pleasure horses, like if you own your own horses, than be a trainer. At least for me.
Yeah.
And I don't like dealing with people. If you think people can be up your ass when you board their horses, wait till you start training their horses, and then their horses aren't winning and shit, and then they're really up your butt.
Nah. I don't. I almost had a weak spot one time and bought a horse down in Rock Hill, south of Rock Hill, actually in Leslie. They had an auction down there that sold horses and things like that. Don't be a pervert, lag. And I would go down there. We'd go out to dinner. My brother and his wife and I would go out to dinner, and then we'd go down to the auction. And
Morning,
there
Dylan.
was this beautiful Palomino. Isn't that where they're the golden ones with the white manes?
Yeah.
Okay. I love that horse. She was beautiful. And I asked my sister-in-law, I said, because she'd always had horses. My brother came into the picture with horses after he married her. I said, is that a good horse? And she said, it's a great horse. And so I started bidding on this horse. And when they got up to $4,000, and this would have been in the 80s, I'm like, that's a little bit more than my pocket would go for.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I was at that horse farm yesterday, and somebody moved her two horses over that she wants to sell them, and she wants $100,000 for the one gelding. $100,000 for a gelding.
Yeah, a boat with hooves. Yeah, boats are very expensive, especially if they're the kind of boat that has to sit in the water all the time. So Todd, did you get any of the? I know he's gonna say, I know he's gonna hit me when we get to Nashville. Did you get any? Have you listed or tested any of the blowers yet?
I am not speaking to Tom again the rest of my life.
No. What did you get? Hair dryers?
There's dryers that you put your fist in to dry your hands when you're in like public restrooms.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
got like 50 of
like
them.
those Dysons? Oh, like those Dysons?
Yes, they're Dysons.
Well, those gotta be expensive, aren't they?
They are if they work. I don't know if any of them work.
You got like 50 of them, don't you?
63.
Are they new in the box? Are they new in the box, or were they
Oh,
takedowns?
hell no. They
They're
were
used.
These were all from Baylor University. I don't know whether they upgraded or whatever, but all these were just
probably
pallets at the auction. No, there were signs on some of them that said use paper towels. The
Not.
hand
Uh oh.
dryers. But I figure I could at least part them out. And if not, then I got some exercise lugging them around.
But damn, Todd, 60 of them.
Yeah, if they work, they're like $300 or
Oh
$400
wow.
a piece.
Yeah, those Airblade things.
Yeah, but
Well, you could probably put power to them and just test them.
I will, but I ain't gonna do it until I already told Tom this. I'm not gonna even mess with him until after Nashville.
All right.
But he doesn't remember squat because he's
No, I
old.
was just messing with you, Todd.
Well, maybe
And
he
I
needs
didn't
to
know
take
whether
the
Gwen
Ginkgo
had walked in
biloba.
there and said either the you do something with them those hand dryers, or you need to start looking for another place to live, because that should take up a lot of room, a lot of space. That many of them.
Well, that's how you make the big money in reselling. You buy stuff that takes up a lot of room, and then you sell it eventually.
They're in my back storage shed, and they can just stay there until I'm ready to do something with them.
I hope the weather is good too in Nashville, Glenn, but I really don't care. I'm getting out of this town. It's been a while since we've been any place. December since we've been any place. But then we come back the end of May. We're going on a cruise, and the end of September we're going on a cruise, and first week of December we're going on a cruise.
Oh, man, you're really turning into a real bunch of cruisers.
Right, John? I would only have to sell one working hand dryer to pay for all of them, and then the rest is just gravy.
I'm telling you, Lag, Todd,
Did you
there
get him
will
a
not be an
dog
estate
sale?
sale. There will not be an estate sale. Gwen's going to pick out the stuff she wants, and then she's going to put a free sign up out front. And people can walk through and just pick up what they want and walk away from it.
Mm-hmm. Are you serious, Chastity? Chastity's a worker. I know she is. She does a bunch of reselling, plus she's got full-time work.
I know.
Chastity is just, man, crazy worker. Of course, Doug is too. He got a full-time job and he resells. Oh, Doug just spilled his coffee.
Doug, does Mrs. Major Win Rowe, does she work outside the home or a job? Because reselling's a job, but I'm talking about like for another company. Or do you keep her up in the style that she is becoming accustomed to? Oh, and this, I know why you want this necklace. It's so you can wear it around over your head like a tiara.
You look like an old flapper when you put that on your forehead.
I know. I feel like an old flapper today.
You're gonna start doing the Charleston or something.
Yeah, I need to get on with. I need to get this damn storage, this pod emptied out so I can get it sent back. It's costing me $90 a month.
Well, that ain't too bad, really.
No, it's not. And honestly,
I mean, it's cheaper than some storage units, ain't it?
It's a good size. It's 8 by 17.
Well,
honestly, I told Roberta, I said, it would be. I mean that would be a good way to have a storage convenient. But they have to have like a 12-foot spot to back the truck up into, so that blows out a lot of places.
Huh.
And this, I know when you and Mr. Junk Trader go to the club on the weekends, you get all gussied up. Really?
Yeah, we're burning daylight, aren't we, American Honey? We need to get to work. haven't had a cha-ching this morning, and this is going to be really disappointing
Yeah.
for me.
But see, that's the point with a lot of people, especially when you have children and you got daycare you got to pay for. You got to really sit down and figure it out. Is somebody working just to pay for freaking daycare?
Yeah.
And they see you look homeless.
Yeah, but he's got a full-time job other than his side gig, the lawn service, doesn't he?
We don't have kids. Ha ha.
Wow, lag. And can you kind of elaborate on what you sold? Yeah, just think if you had a couple of little curtain climbers, that deduction you'd be getting, Major Win. You ought to be on Easy Street.
You always ask Lag what he sold, and he always lies about it.
I know he does, and I want him to be honest
So
for
why do you-
once.
Why do you even ask?
Because one of these days I'm gonna catch him when he's moving money around his shell companies, and he's gonna
You
slip
should-
up and say what he sold.
Well, if you join his paid group, you'd know who he is then.
His paid group.
Yeah, it's the super secret reseller group.
Well, he didn't lie this time. He said he sold stuff.
Stuff, yeah. I pick at you about who you really are, but I want to be honest with you. I really don't give an F.
Lag sold his third kidney.
You're good for content.
I've never heard of anybody with 3 kidneys, Doug.
Yeah. That sounds like something Lag would do, because when eBay sales get slow, he goes to 100% discount. So, good morning, Tactical and American Honey. I don't know if I said good morning to you either, but yeah, I got to get on with it. Todd's got to get on with it. We got to get some stuff done. I guess Beard's being an ass and not showing up for anybody's shows today. So I think he has a whatnot tonight. Scott, if you're listening, are you still doing a whatnot tonight? Hurry up. I'm getting ready to end it.
He's probably off doing something or eating biscuits.
Eating biscuits. Yeah, he's
Doesn't
probably
go to
eating
that
biscuits.
biscuit restaurant down the road from him.
So check it out if you follow Scott on
Scott used to go there regularly, but he hadn't talked about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if he does. He used to. I don't know if he still does.
Who is that?
Scott used to go like almost every morning and go get a biscuit at the biscuit house or whatever it's called.
He's been talking the last several months about how his boy is making all kinds of
bread,
baking, doing lots of baking and breads.
Yeah, I see. He's like started like a business, or he's doing like craft baking and selling it or something.
No, Craig's wife has got a business, a catering business, and she does like plates.
Oh, driving the 550 tomorrow. We'll be driving the 550 today because my son took my other car to school.
Mr. Sadie, you got a 550? Oh, a bucket
truck. He's gonna ride that bucket truck up and do some lineman work because he's a lineman for the county.
I was talking to my brother over the weekend, and one of his wives,
Mr. Sadie, said he's driving the F550 bucket truck today.
My sister-in-law and her daughter is also head of the Operation Care, which is an animal rescue organization. And they can always use donations too. Anyway.
Sadie sent me a picture.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's definitely a bucket truck. We sold one of those buckets. That fiberglass bucket you ride in.
Uh-huh.
This was like, I didn't sell it on eBay. I sold it on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $5 for it, and I sold it for like $250 on Facebook Marketplace. And it went down to Nashville area.
And Mr. Sadie, if he's out there, put down.
Well, he's commenting.
Put down the feet on that truck so you don't tip over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get that bucket up high enough, it starts to get tippy.
Yeah.
But my brother said his Angie's friend came over there, and she's got a new 550 Lariat, something like that.
I didn't know they put a Lariat pack.
Well, it might not be a Lariat, it
Maybe
might
like
be
a
something
four.
else, but that
You
damn
sure it
thing,
ain't a
he said, is
450?
fancy.
Usually, like the 450, they'll make a lot fancier than like a 550.
Well, he said they got a $150,000 horse trailer they pull behind it. So
Yeah.
It's probably because you need a CDL if you're using it if you had a F550. Oh, unless it's a living quarter. Well, it's going to have living quarters in the trailer, so I guess you technically call it an RV. Because otherwise, you got to have a CDL if you're going to pull a trailer over 10,000 pounds.
really,
The
I don't know
550.
anything about that.
But
If
the
you go down to a 450,
yeah.
yeah, then you can tow more. And honestly, the best truck if you're going to tow a trailer is a 350 or F350 or 3500 GMC, because you're going to all your big trailers are going to be you're not going to go overweight. You got your combined vehicle weight rating has to stay under 26,000 pounds. So that if your truck you're driving, like mine's an 18,000 pound vehicle rating,
Right.
at 10,000 pounds I'm at 28. Except trailers 10,000 pounds and under are exempt. So, but I can't legally pull an 11,000 pound trailer without a CDL.
Wow.
There's
a
a
part of it.
Mercedes.
Is that
It's
yours,
the
Mr.
car.
Sadie's, or is that the school
No, it's
district?
the schools.
That's about it. Ours is red, but ours looks like it's about the same year as a 7.3
Yeah.
diesel.
I think they quit making those that model. That I think they changed them in 04. I think 4 was the last year of that body style. I think. I was wrong on when Antiques Archaeology closed. I was wrong on John Denver too. So you just never know with me. I'm a wild card.
Scott, Jim, when you got your wife with you, you're always wrong.
True that.
Before I shut
If
this
it's
thing
3 in the
down,
fourth, nobody hears it. Am I still wrong?
He argued with me about something we're laying in bed. Told me, oh, I bought this 2 items at the same auction. I go, yeah, they came from the same auction. Oh, no, they couldn't have. I go, I know they did. I loaded up both of them because I was by myself. He had to come downstairs at midnight to check the auction bills on our email and said, oh, yeah, you were right. I'm like, I don't know why you were arguing with me, and I was too lazy to go downstairs to prove you wrong.
Oh, I thought it was that size
It's those
argument.
street
Okay.
lights. No, those street lights. You said I didn't buy them at the same time as those point of sale things.
Oh,
And I
I
said
wish
did.
I still. Yeah, that's. Yeah, whatever. I don't.
I am not getting out of damn bed
Well, he wouldn't
to
let
go
it go.
check something because my wife disagrees with me. We'll pick this up in the morning.
I was worried about senility. I thought, am I going nuts? But I guess I am. So.
I don't know. And I'll say to him every time, I don't know why you
Checking
debate
my
me.
senility.
I don't know why you debate me when I'm always right.
I mean, I was
so.
100% sure that this was like a month, at least a month apart with these 2 auctions. They were the same damn auction, so I'm losing my mind.
Power
Freightliner
stroke. V8.
Freightliner has built supposed to be
Oh, it's
building
a
a
V8.
truck.
It's a gas.
Oh, diesel would be V8 too.
Oh,
Anyway,
It'd
before I
be
shut this
turbo-
thing down,
Incentives are big.
oh.
Turbo
they-
diesel.
my
Yeah.
son that's expecting and daughter-in-law that are expecting the baby in October, they have finalized his name. His name is going to be Oliver Elliott Hucks.
Mm.
So while I'm in Nashville, I got to start looking for stuff with Oliver on it because that's like Roberta. They don't have a lot of those around
I
anymore.
was gonna say there's probably not a lot of people name their kids Oliver.
Yeah. Because when we go someplace and you see all the like the keychains and things like that with names on them,
Yeah, you should definitely buy him like a pair of knickers and a little vest and like a paperboy hat.
I'm going to get him a little metal bowl so he can go up to his grandma and
Oh.
say, "May I please have more?"
Oh, one of those big striped lollipops that he could lick while he's playing kick the
A very
can.
puffy shoe.
No, he's gonna be a little asshole. The Hux is gonna come out in him in full strength. He's going to be. When he gets into school, his parents are going to get phone calls from him from their school all the time, because his father,
boy.
my son that I love so very much. So don't take me wrong. He was a little asshole when he was little.
Oh, maybe the Russian's gonna come out.
And he actually Ukrainian.
Oh, Ukrainian. They're feisty. Those Ukrainians are feisty.
I would say, boy, if you don't watch your mouth, I'm going to tear you up. and he would turn around and stick that little butt at me, and of course,
Oh boy.
I had to follow through what I threatened. And I always said, I hope you get a child just like you, and I hope it's a little girl. So
I can see you being real tough. Like, okay, that's it, boy. I'm going to have to get the spanking feather now.
Are you? No, absolutely not. I'm old
gonna grab
school
a handful
Southern
of
boy. He
noodles
got
and
his
put
little
it
ass
on
tore
top.
up.
Let me get these spaghetti noodles that are wet, and I'm going to really give you a whooping.
Absolutely not.
Here's that bat, Jim, you got to ship. It's never made it out.
No, I am not Russian. I am not Russian.
Yeah, but his kids are Ukrainian. They're
Yeah,
adopted.
the twins are Ukrainian. Sergei's from Russia.
Oh.
I'm not Russian. I'm Soviet.
And no, they were.
I'm
It was Russia
Soviet.
when they were born.
USSR all the way.
Yeah, or whatever. So anyway, thank y'all for coming in here for this nonsense this morning. You know, like I said, your taxes are done. Is there anything you can do to help improve your tax situation besides having a couple of kids?
Yeah, me and Jim are going to pop out a couple more kids. That's
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's it. That's what I was thinking when you were talking about walking around in the backyard nude. I knew that was.
yeah.
I knew
Jim
that
will
was a
crack
lie
out
because
another kid. We'll have that deductible then.
Jim seems to be extremely fertile, so you'd have been pregnant by now.
You might
if
have
that
to find a new wife, though. You might have to get one that's a little younger. That's
Sister wives.
sister wife.
I could be like one of those Amish guys taking out 3 bags of garbage every day instead of one.
No, I've never gone. I never went golf ball hunting to sell them on eBay. But when
Well,
I
that
was a
not Amish
teenager,
anymore.
we used to go. There was a TK golf course had a couple of fairways that ended on at the edge of the lake, and we would go out on a friend's pontoon boat, and we would snorkel around and find golf balls. We would find hundreds and hundreds, and then we sold them back to the
It was bigger. I would have wanted.
golf course. The what do you call it? The
Driving range?
pro shop.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad you're not doing anything today. Yeah, it is sort of. Only this was like in 4 feet of water. So anyway, Todd, thank you for coming in here and hanging out with this nonsense. It's always appreciated. Tara, Jim, it's always a pleasure to have y'all in here. Julie, if you're still listening, thank you for popping in here, and all of my wonderful listeners. And y'all, thank y'all so much for coming in here and putting up with this stuff every day or on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Look for Scott's Whatnot show tonight. I think somebody said at 8 o'clock. Scott should be back online in the morning. Then me on Thursday. And Todd, are you going to try and do a show before you go to the airport?
Hell no.
You don't take the day off, huh? Start drinking, getting ready
Well,
for
you
the
can do
weekend.
it live from Nashville, and then everybody that didn't make it to Nashville could watch it.
Friday,
on
Saturday, and Sunday are vacation time.
Okay. Yeah, I might do something live. Just like a quick blip or something from Nashville. I'm sure Scott will.
No, we don't want a quick blip. We want you to do like an hour show at night.
Oh,
from your
ain't
hotel
happening.
room.
You
From
know,
your hotel room.
unless it's at some neighborhood flea market or yard sales going on or something of
walk
that
into
sort.
it.
So anyway, y'all have a great day.
Oh, they're going to be in Nashville this weekend.
Until we
Live from the
meet
bins.
again. Bye.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.